The former Manly Warringah Sea Eagles mentor has been plying his trade in the Northern Hemisphere with the Bradford Bulls of the English Super League, but could conceivably be lured back to Australia with the promise of an NRL gig. Selling Tuvey on the change in lifestyle between the Gold Coast and Bradford should NT be an overly difficult task, but it will be up to the Titans to prove there is some stability amongst the playing roster and the club as a whole given the issues faced over recent weeks. Jeff Tuvey is unlikely to kowtow to player power and could be just the man to motivate Jarryd Hayne and kick the former Eels superstar back into gear. The board have signalled their intent to back Hayne and the current roster with the sacking of Henry, and the next man on deck will need to get the best out of the young stars and Hayne to be a success. The current Queensland Maroons State of Origin coach came under plenty of scrutiny and heat after their Game 1 loss to the New South Wales Blues at Suncorp Stadium, but appears to be back in the good books following the series win and the triumphant bowing out of at least one Queensland Origin great. Walters has had some club coaching experience with Catalan's Dragons in the English Super League, but has built his reputation more in the background at the Melbourne Storm and Brisbane Broncos, two of the more well-run coaching setups in the league. Whether or not Walters has any real interest in stepping away from the Queensland role for the Titans gig, or any other club job remains to be seen, but he could be lured to the Gold Coast with the right package. Dean Pay is one of those coaches that has been thrown up in plenty of conversations over the last 12 months as a coach on the rise and capable of being an NRL standard mentor. Pay has some experience as Kevin Walters' assistant at the Catalans Dragons and also in the NRL with the Parramatta Eels and Canberra Raiders under Ricky Stewart, while also taking on the role of the New South Wales Blues under-20s coach, so could easily force his way into an NRL job if given the opportunity. A hard-as-nails, uncompromising player back in his heyday, Pay could the man to come in and grind out results and player power from a club that appears enthralled with star players. Once touted as an NRL coach in waiting by his boss at the Panthers Phil Gould, Garth Brennan could easily make the step up to the next level and might be interested in proving his credentials on the Gold Coast with the Titans. Currently the head coach of the Penrith Panthers Intrust Super Premiership side, which is bound for finals footy at the end of the season, Brennan has had his time in charge of both the reserve grade and under-20s side at the club with plenty of success and appears on the verge of becoming an NRL coach over the next year or two. Brennan would fit the Titans in the same mold as Dean Pay. Jeff Tuvey is a tough disciplinarian who could drag the best out of a young and enigmatic roster on the Gold Coast, not to mention Jarryd Hayne as well. Rockhampton boy Cy Bold has experience working as Michael Maguire's assistant at the South Sydney Rabbitohs as well as an assistant coach of the Queensland Maroons State of Origin team and has been touted as a future NRL coach in the past. The German international spent his playing career with the Broncos, Raiders and a number of overseas clubs but has carved out a niche as a strong tactical mind and a good man motivator, two key skills which could come in handy at the Gold Coast Titans over the next year or two as they look to rebuild the image of the club, the playing roster and the credibility of management. Who do you think should replace Neil Henry as the head coach of the Gold Coast Titans? Let us know in the comments below. Want to share your opinion? Why not write for us? Previous post, next post, next.